What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about a popular Scandinavian game called Kubb. So, to be honest, I have never heard of Kubb before. But I like games, so I'm kind of excited to learn about a new game that I've never seen or heard of before. So let's take a look.
Hello and welcome to How to Play Kubb, presented by GatherTogetherGames.com.
Okay. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's this? What's this? We're just jumping right into it. What's happening? There's a bunch of sticks. Where you're on a lawn with a bunch of wooden sticks. I am very confused. You throw the sticks? You throw sticks at each other. What is going on? Okay.
This video will cover how...
I have to say, I am very, very intrigued. It has my attention.
This video will cover how to play the yard game Kubb. The video will start with the general concepts and then get into more of the details for the game.
Okay.
The video will conclude with an example round of Kubb.
Nice. So this is played on a yard. That's nice. That's already kind of nice because a lot of games or sports, you got to have a special field, like a tennis court or a baseball field or a football field. This is just something you can play in your backyard or something.
The game is played with 2 to 12 players. To play, you will need a Kubb game set that includes boundary stakes, throwing batons, Kubbs, and a king Kubb.
Oh, whoa! Okay. I'm intrigued. This already seems like something I'd kind of like. I like physical games. Not that I, maybe I struggle a bit at the mental games. That's okay. But I enjoy a nice physical game. You got a wooden block. You're throwing it. Okay, I like it. Setup.
Set up the Kubb playing area by placing the boundary stakes 5 meters apart on the baselines and 8 meters apart on the sidelines.
Okay.
5 Kubbs are placed on each baseline, and the king Kubb is placed in the middle of the playing area.
Okay, so the wooden blocks are called Kubbs. Kubb. And the middle one, the king Kubb. I like this terminology. Okay, you set up a little field in your backyard. You line up all these wooden blocks. Put the king in the middle. Okay. Yeah, what's the objective?
The object of the game is to knock down all the Kubbs on the opposing side of the playing area and then knock down the king Kubb to win.
Oh, that's pretty simple. That sounds fun. In America, we have some backyard games that involve throwing, like horseshoes or cornhole, are popular in many parts of America. I don't know if you have that in Scandinavia, but this is a throwing style game. So I think a lot of Americans would enjoy this. Actually, you're throwing like wooden cylinder stick at your opponent's blocks, trying to knock them over. That's pretty simple, yet sounds oddly fun. Strangely satisfying. Gameplay.
Before the game begins, a player from each side will throw a baton toward the king Kubb. The player closest to the king gets to go first in the game. The winner with the closest baton to the king will start the game by throwing all 6 batons with the goal of knocking down as many Kubbs as possible.
Oh wow, these Kubbs are pretty small, aren't they? It's not that easy to hit them. I would imagine there is a technique for throwing the baton, the wood stick. Do you have to throw underhand, or can you can you just, can you throw it overhand? Or are there any rules about that?
A player will throw all 6 batons when playing one-on-one If there are multiple players per team, the batons will be split between the players as evenly as possible.
Oh, that's kind of cool, too. That you can play this game with multiple people. That's a really good perk. You can play this game with a lot of people. That's really good.
Any cubes that are knocked over are thrown to the opponent's side of the field. The thrown cube is set upright where it came to rest. Any cube thrown is known as a field cube. All field cubes must be knocked over before going for a cube on the baseline.
What? Oh. This is so fun. This is so interesting. It's not that often that I get to learn about a new game. It's like, I think this game is like historically hundreds of years old or something, back to the Vikings or something. But for me, this is brand new. So if you knock over your opponent's cube, that comes to your side, and it's like a defensive cube. That's kind of interesting.
The batons are picked up, and it is the second player's or team's turn to throw. Teams will take turns throwing batons and sending knockdown cubes.
Finally! Oh my gosh, I was waiting for somebody to hit a cube. It actually seems, just from watching this, it sounds easy, but it looks a lot harder than you would actually think. They are struggling to hit these cubes.
Cubes to the other side of the field.
Winning, okay.
Once a team has all the cubes knocked down on the opposing side of the field, the king cube can be attacked. The game is won when the king cube is knocked down.
Okay.
The baton must be thrown end over end and underarm.
Oh, I was wondering about that. I wanted so badly to just get aggressive with this game, but it's okay, end over end. You can't spin it like a fan, which I was also wondering why they're not doing that. End over end, underhand, okay.
A team gets to throw the batons from the closest cube. For example, this field cube was not knocked down on the previous team's throws, so the cube's position on the field becomes the new line to throw from.
Whoa! That is a huge advantage. So, it sounds like, if I'm being analytical, if you knock over your opponent's cube, you get a massive advantage. That cube gets to come over to your side. It becomes a defensive cube that they now have to knock over. And it moves up where you're allowed to throw from. So you get to go even closer to your opponents. That's a big deal to knock over someone's cube.
Knockdown cubes are always thrown from the baseline. If a cube is thrown out of bounds, it is known as a fault. After 2 fault throws for a cube, the opposing team will place the cube anywhere on their half of the field. A field cube must be at least 1 baton length away from the king cube.
Okay.
Field cubes must be knocked down before baseline cubes.
Wow. Having these field cubes, that is such, I feel like that's such a big advantage if you knock over your opponent's cube. Suddenly you get 2 advantages for yourself.
If a baseline cube is knocked down before a field cube, the baseline cube is stood back up.
Okay.
Throws must be made from the baseline when attacking the king cube.
Okay.
If the king cube is knocked down before having all the cubes knocked down, the game is immediately lost by the team that knocked the king cube down early.
Oh, really? I like these little rules. I like these random little rules. If you knock over the king by accident, you just lose automatically. You just lose right there. I think this would be a lot of fun. I think Americans would love this. Okay.
My opponent and I throw a baton towards the king. My opponent's baton is closer and will throw first. The 6 batons are thrown by my opponent, with 1 baseline cube being knocked over.
Okay.
I will throw the knocked over cube to my opponent's side.
Right.
The cube is stood up and is now a field cube that I must knock over first.
Right.
I am able to knock down the field cube, and my opponent throws it back to my side of the field.
Oh, interesting. I didn't think about that. So if you knock over a field cube, you just put it on your opponent's side, and then if they knock it over, it goes back onto their side as a field cube. So by the end of the game, you have like 10 or 12 field cubes set up around the field, right? This gets kind of chaotic.
I stand it up and my opponent goes again. My opponent knocks over the field cube and then gets an additional baseline cube. Both cubes are thrown and stood up.
Okay.
I must now knock down both field cubes before going for a baseline cube.
Wow.
I am able to knock down both field cubes and get a baseline cube. All 3 cubes are thrown and are field cubes.
Yeah, it's just what I thought. Like, as the game goes on, it gets kind of crazy. You gotta knock down all these field cubes. And there can be like 10 of them on your side that you gotta knock over.
My opponent goes and is only able to hit 2 of the field cubes. I throw the cubes back over. I now get to throw closer by standing in line with the field cube still on my side of the field.
Right.
The game continues this way with my opponent and me taking turns.
Okay. Oh, here comes the dramatic music. Okay. I feel like, now that I understand the rules, I feel like a game of Kubb can last a long time. A very long time. Oh, I'm gonna turn down the music. Okay. Yeah, so basically it kind of like spirals out of control where one side gets a lot of field cubes going and then it feels like that side is probably going to win.
I am able to knock down all the remaining cubes and the king cube to win the game.
Wow.
That wraps up how to play Kubb. If you found this video helpful,
that was good. that was a good video. I understand. This game sounds like a lot of fun, actually. I've never heard of this. I'm kind of surprised this isn't a thing in America. I do have some questions about it. How popular is this in Scandinavia? How many people out there have actually played this game? Because this does not exist in America. I've never seen somebody who owns this game. But I don't know. I kind of want to buy it now. I feel like it'd be cool to buy. This doesn't even look like that expensive of a game to get. It's probably not that expensive, and it looks like a lot of fun. It's a backyard game for when you're having social gatherings. Is that mostly when you do it in Scandinavia? If you're getting together, like having a party or like a cookout or something, I could see playing a game of Kubb. It's just the right amount of difficulty. Not too hard, not too easy. Seems fun. I like it. I actually really enjoyed learning about this, and I might seriously have to get this. Seems kind of fun. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on Kubb. Were all of these rules correct? Is this how you play it in Scandinavia? Have you ever played Kubb before? How popular is Kubb? That'd be awesome if anyone could answer those questions. And if you're interested in more videos like this, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.